narrator met a man named Auguste Dupont in a library where they had a common interest in a book. Together, they became fast friends and soon moved in together.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy, cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man, or whether we're talking son to son, 'cause he's my best friend. Yeah, he's my best friend. La la, ba la la la, yeah, ba la la la, ba la la la, yeah.
After a few short months, the narrator had to go into the witness protection program due to criminal activity. So the detective moved in with his friend for protection. One morning, when they were reading the newspaper, they came across an article that read, "This morning about 3 o'clock, the inhabitants of the Quartier Saint-Roch were aroused from sleep by a succession of terrific shrieks, issuing apparently from the fourth story of a house in the Rue Morgue, known to be in the sole occupancy of one Madame l'Espagnier and her daughter, Mademoiselle Camille l'Espagnier, after some delay occasioned by a fruitless attempt to procure admission in the unusual manner. The gateway was broken in with a crowbar, and 8 or 10 of the neighbors entered, accompanied by 2 gendarmes. By this time the cries had ceased, but as the party rushed up the first flight of stairs, 2 or more rough voices in angry contention were distinguished, and seemed to proceed from the upper part of the house. As the second landing was reached, these sounds also had ceased, and everything remained perfectly quiet. The party spread themselves and hurried from room to room. Upon arriving at a large back chamber, the apartment was in the wildest disorder, the furniture broken and thrown about in all directions. Of Madame l'Espagnier no traces were here seen. Search was made in the chimney, and horrible to relate, the corpse of the daughter, head downward, was dragged therefrom, it having been thus forced up the narrow aperture for a considerable distance. The party made its way into a small paved yard in the rear of the building, where lay the corpse of the old lady, with her throat so entirely cut that the body, as well as the head, was fearfully mutilated.
You're under arrest, Le Bon.
For what?
For murdering 2 innocent women.
It wasn't me, I swear I didn't do it, it was the monkey! Taylor looked in. The gigantic animal had seized Madame l'Espagnier by the hair, and was flourishing the razor about her face, in intimidation of the motions of a barber. The screams and struggles of the old lady had the effect of changing the probably pacific purposes of the orangutan into those of wrath. With one determined sweep of its muscular arm, it nearly severed her head from her body. Gnashing its teeth and flashing fire from its eyes, it flew upon the body of the girl and embedded its fearful talons in her throat, retaining its grasp until she expired, throwing down and breaking the furniture as it moved, and dragging the bed from the bedstead. In conclusion, it seized first the corpse of the daughter, and thrust it up the chimney as it was found, then that of the old lady, which it immediately hurled through the window headlong.
Rip Van Winkle was loved by everyone in the town. He was not only loved but was friendly and enjoyed to play with the neighborhood children.
Hello, children.
Hi,
Rip Van Winkle. Hello, children.
The only person who did not like Rip Van Winkle was his wife. They had many arguments and Rip was tired of his wife, so he stormed off and walked into the forest to get some fresh air.
Rip Van Winkle.
now.
Help me.
All right.
Thanks for your help.
No problem, sir.
The old man gave Rip Van Winkle a sleeping potion and fell asleep in the forest for 20 years.
Oh, got old limbs now. Why, hello, children.
I don't talk to weird men.
But I'm Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Doesn't anybody know who Rip Van Winkle is?
Now Rip Van Winkle scared little children and others in the town. Rip Van Winkle is now old, alone and sad. While he was asleep for 20 years, he missed out on a lot that went on in the world.
Election day! It's election day! What do you mean it's election day? What happened to King George? The war's over! Wait, you look so familiar. Who was your father?
Rip Van Winkle, he walked in the forest about 20 years ago.
I'm Rip Van Winkle.
Really?
Yeah!
I'll take care of you, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Rip Van Winkle and his daughter had a happily ever after.